Well, the nice thing about a rampage at this stage of the conversation is that most of you are already right there feeling it already. And so we can bring this to a good feeling place, just starting where all of you are, by talking about some things that are sort of current events. Let's take advantage of this opportunity to come into the vortex relative to some things that matter. And let's think in terms of the vortex. Let's think in terms of the creation box. Let's think in terms of focusing in a way that really aligns you with the solutions that you've already put there. So we'll speak it from your point of view, from the physical point of view, but we cannot speak of the physical point of view in a rampage without coupling you completely with the source energy that is really you. So it's really a combination of all that you are, but we're speaking it from your vantage point. I feel exceptionally happy right now in realizing the well-being that is abounding on this planet. And I'm particularly focused upon the ecological balance of the planet because of the attention that's been brought to it relative to the oil spill in the Gulf. I realize that there have been a lot of conversations about the rightness or the wrongness of drilling underwater, or drilling in areas that are inhabited, or drilling at all. And there's a big debate about whether it's right or wrong to even use oil, whether it's right or wrong to drill it in the way that we are, whether it's right or wrong for corporations to make money from it. There is a lot of confusion about all of that. And through all of this conversation that has been fostered over a number of years, actually more years than I've even been alive in this physical body, I now feel such complete satisfaction in realizing that a number of things have come to a sort of crescendo, to this powerful culmination where billions of people around the planet are alerted and now asking for things that I am now realizing can come about. And these are a list of the things that I realize have come to a head that now I can focus upon and revel in and take pleasure in. I love realizing that as a people on this planet, we have so much talent in our diverse ways of looking at life. And I am confident beyond any doubt that there is not a problem that can present itself to us as a people, or even to me as an individual, but to us as a people, that cannot eventually be solved in a way that far surpasses the details of the problem that brought the solution about. In other words, I am expecting solutions as a result of a problem that is focused, that are bigger, so much bigger and so much better than the initial problem. I am anticipating that as a result of this focused energy, that governments will begin to work together in collaborating what's best for all of us. I can foresee a time when we are not factioned into our individual worlds or into our individual governments, holding one another hostage. I can see that the benefit that I am feeling and the benefit that others are beginning to feel about the collaborative efforts. I can see how our world can come together in a meaningful way as a result of this common problem that we are all beginning to experience. I can feel that the competitive nature of life is not a disadvantage but an advantage. But I can feel that in this competition, sometimes it's easy to get out of whack. And there's nothing like a global crisis to cause us to eventually, and we haven't come to that yet, eventually pull back from the pettiness of pointing out our differences and looking for every opportunity that we can to point out the rightness of our position while we are proclaiming the wrongness of another position. It's time for us to collectively acknowledge that we are collaborative inhabitants of this magnificent planet, where our dominant intent is to work together in a way of continuing the perpetuation of well-being on the planet rather than living in competition with one another. And I am so looking forward to this opportunity to find people coming out of the woodwork from all kinds of unforeseeable places with solutions and benefits, where finally we can come together and recognize that the solutions to the things that matter to us can even come from places that we didn't anticipate them coming, and that there is good that can come from places that we'd carved off and only called bad places. I can see that this collaborative experience of this Gulf oil crisis can be a catalyst to bring us together collectively in terms of economics, in terms of ecology, and in terms of in terms of understanding the balance and the power of the diversity. I've been feeling for a while, we're speaking from your perspective, the advantage of the diversity of the beliefs and intentions that are present upon this planet today. And I can't think of anything that has ever happened that has the greater potential of causing people to lay down their prejudices and lay down their learned behavior of pushing against and be able to see with their own eyes, through their own experience, the advantage of expecting good things to come from unexpected places. I'm happy to be alive in my physical body today. There has never been a time in all of physicality that is more conducive to a joyful life experience on planet Earth. It satisfies me to realize that because we have the potential of creating really big messes, we have the potential of creating really big solutions. And really big solutions is really big evolution. And really big evolution is really big satisfaction of the reason that we have all come forth in this time. I realize that none of us came forth in this time of high-flying intentions just to sort of muddle our way through. We are a powerful people who are collaboratively inhabiting this planet. And the potential for satisfying co-creative experience has never been greater. I love knowing about the vortex, and I love knowing that my emotions guide me to my alignment with it. And the most significant thing that I feel appreciation of in this very moment is the realization that not one other person has to be consciously aware of their vortex or of their inner being with whom they have the ability to align in order for me to have full alignment. And it is also exhilarating for me to realize that I can stand at a distance from any problem in full realization of the solution. And as I take joy in the pondering of the solution, I've contributed to this world in ways that those beating the drum of the problem will never be able to experience the satisfaction of co-creation. I love knowing that all really is well, and that no matter how it looks at any point in time or any particular place, that the well-being is huge in relationship to the not well-being. I'm satisfied at what is taking place on this planet today. And from inside my vortex, from inside the vortex, where I commonly am, where I mostly am, where I chronically am, in concert with the wholeness of that which I am, I proclaim this time on planet Earth as the best time that has ever been, while I understand that it will get better with every day that comes forth. There is no reason for me to try to fix anything, because nothing needs to be fixed. And yet, as a solution seeker, I take great satisfaction in knowing that solutions are going to reveal themselves to me constantly. It satisfies me to realize that I now know enough that I can live the real time of the solution without needing to ponder the problem any longer. I can feel the satisfaction of all that has been lived before. And I feel that I am here in the time that has been talked about from the beginning of time. I am here at the time of awakening, the time when not all, but many will discover the power of alignment with who they really are. I would like to say to those who don't understand, it's going to be all right. And I would like to say to those who do understand, are we ever having a good time or what? Thank you. Co-creating at its best, really. You're knowing what you are wanting. Really. You're enjoying the expansion of your desire. It feels good, doesn't it? Yes, really? Really? Well, when you hold a desire and you believe that it is doable, havable, beable, then that desire feels oh so sweet, doesn't it? to want something in the absence of doubt is really a frisky feeling. That's what the little kids have before you squelch them. That desire with belief, there is nothing sweeter. Desire with the knowledge that whatever it is that you desire can be, but even better than that. And you're going to come around to understanding this today, because we're going to go after it with everything we have. We want you to realize that when you stand in what we are calling real time, where there is no gap between your desiring of something and your expectation of it, that's when life really is sweet. When you want something and you doubt it, when you can't figure out how it's going to come or where it's going to come from or when it's going to come or if it's going to come, then your desire feels bad to you. It feels like yearning. It feels like that achy wanting of something that you don't believe. It feels like doubt. But when you understand that you are creator, and you understand that you live in a vibrational universe, and you understand that you are an emitter of vibrational frequencies that are being answered by law of attraction, and most important of all, you have control of your vibrational emitting because you've paid attention to it. You're aware of your guidance system, so you understand what your point of attraction is all day, every day. Then, and only then, is the creative process sweet. Otherwise, it's sort of a crapshoot. It's like Russian roulette. It's like creating by default. You want but hope. Want but hope. You want to be lucky, or you want to have yourself standing in the right place. You want to maybe have pulled the right strings or know the right people. But when you get it, that you are a vibrational being first and foremost and always, and that you can tell by the way you feel what the vibrational signal is that you are emanating, and you can learn to mold that signal so that you are projecting one in just the way you mean it to be, then you are a deliberate creator, and then creating is fun. And then when we say, are you enjoying your desire? Do you like that feeling of desire? And you say yes, you will mean it. Unlike some of what you just said. As we flow this information to Esther, and she finds words that are equivalent to the knowing that we're offering. And you listen to the words. She's offering the words. You hear the words. All that's happening is you're focusing into your vortex. That's all that's happening. The rest is a vibrational phenomenon of you being filled up with the fullness of who you are. That's all that's going on here. In other words, we're not teaching you stuff that you're then remembering that you're going to actually go out and apply. That's all really sort of part of the dog and pony show just to keep you interested. And it makes you feel like you're getting your money's worth. But really all that's happening here is that you're because of the words that are being offered, you're focusing into the vortex long enough that you're getting a personal experience, and that resonance with who you are is what you're all reaching for. In other words, at very deep levels, you recognize that's how you're supposed to feel. When you have that out of body, near death, whatever you want to call it, experience, you recognize the resonance of it. You knew that that's who you are, and that's how you're supposed to feel. And it was so real and so vivid and so big, no one could ever talk you out of it. In other words, you knew it. And that's what goes on here. In other words, you're coming into alignment with the wholeness of who you are. And once you taste this experience of alignment, you can't go back from it. You can't go back from it. You won't go back from it. You now have a new measurement guide light to feel yourself up against. Good.